I'm Rick, and in this vid I want to show how I do speargun rubbers. First you get the bulk rubber. In this case I'm using 40mm rubber, which is my preferred diameter. The first step is to cut the rubber to length. I normally make my rubbers 1 to 3.3 stretch. You can always shorten them later if you feel like it. To work out the stretch, start it where the rubbers are in the muzzle and then go all the way down to where the bridles engage with the spear. Don't try to factor in the length of the bridle, it's not worth the trouble. Up until about 4 to 1 stretch. The shorter you make the rubber, the more powerful it's going to be. But at the same time, that rubber's also going to wear out and break a lot sooner. I reckon 3.3 to 1's a good practical compromise for a speargun that's going to be reliable and you use steadily over perhaps a year. The cut rubber has a square end, which doesn't appeal to my aesthetic. To stiffen the rubber for the tapering process, I put a nail in, up the hole in the middle. This enables me to hold them with some rigidity when I put them in the grinder. Grinding's a two-handed operation, and I can't really show it single-handedly holding the camera. But you should wear eye protection, definitely, 100%, definitely. So now I've got just a nice edge on the rubber. You can do this with a belt sander too, or even with a pair of scissors, although it's a lot harder to get something that looks neat. The other component's the bridle. I use starter motor cord. Starter motor cord is cheap, it's easy to get, and it's durable. And it's really useful for spears with shark fin tabs, but it's too fat to fit into the slots in slotted spears. To stop a lump on the bridle, I just tie an overhand knot. On cord this thick, that's all you need. Experience tells me that about 10 or 11 centimetres between knots is about the right distance. Yeah, don't forget to fuse the end of the cord. Take care not to burn yourself, and I lick my fingers before I do it so that the burnt plastic doesn't stick to them. To insert the bridle into the rubber, I use a pair of needle nose pliers, quite fine needle nose pliers, and I lube it all up with silicone lubricant. Shove a bit down the hole in the rubber and put a bit around the knot. It helps to hold it in such a way that the sharp ends of the needle noses don't stick out and get caught in the rubber. This is a two-handed job, and I can't do it and hold the phone to take a pic at the same time. So you'll just have to take me on trust. That's it with the rubber. Well, with the bridle inserted in the rubber. When you take the pliers out, it helps to open the handles a little bit, and that makes sure that you don't pull the bridle back out with the pliers. To tie in the rubbers, you use a strangle knot or a constrictor knot. They're both pretty much the same sort of knot, really. Basically what it is, a half hitch here, and you throw a loop around. So what you do is you throw the loop around first, then you tie a half hitch under the loop. When the knot's pulled tight, you've got your half hitch down there, but you've got the loop pressing down on it, which stops it from undoing. The knot's not too complicated when you look at it slowly and systematically. I'm also told that a clove hitch will work just as well. Pulling the knot tight, well, that's a two-handed job, so I can't show that in the phone either. But I'll just go ahead and do it now. Pull the knot tight till the rubber doesn't give any more. You'll know when you get there. Comes up quite neat. Cut off the excess, leaving about, not quite 10 millimetres. And then fuse them down. With the ends fused down, I've never had one of these come undone. Then you slip the other end of the rubber through the hole in the front of the speargun and the muzzle of the speargun and tie it in too, using the same process. There are other ways of doing it, but that works well enough for me. The rubbers will break down a bit after a year or so around where they're tightly compressed by the knot. But that's pretty well standard.